How's everybody doing today? I hope you're doing well. Doing pretty well. I just got back from a job assignment at DC Equipment. Old DC Equipment. Well, it's weird. It's new DC equipment with old motors. And I was one of the few folks that had been around for the last time we commissioned stuff like this. And it was actually pretty cool because a lot of the field team were folks that I haven't seen in a while. Like I had a coworker, she was from Hong Kong, hadn't seen her in forever, and another coworker of mine from Jordan. I hadn't seen him in so long. I didn't know he was married, and he's got his first son on the way, and that was pretty cool because I had actually originally trained that guy when he was first out of university. His first ever job was with first ever couple of jobs actually with me. And it's really cool to watch young people kind of develop into really successful individuals. It's the one thing that I missed about the military was I'd get the same kind of I don't know, satisfaction, if you will, from watching a kid go from coming to the unit, fresh face, green and raw, to him finding his place and then growing as an individual. I kind of miss that. I got to apologize. I'm enjoying laying back. My back is absolutely killing me from this business trip, and my hips bother me. So I didn't exercise at all today. I'm totally just cheating on the couch. I'm feeling lazy. But since I had any time to kill, because I'm trying to relax, it's always so funny because I get on the Patrick's Twitter, and like right off the bat, it's so funny to me because you got 42 minutes ago, Patrick was doing Wordle, but at the same time, what is it? 18 minutes prior to that, we're supposed to believe that Patrick was outside sanding and fixing this lumber because he's building furniture out of pallets to make a chair. I can't believe how fucking stupid Patrick is. First of all, I can't imagine what kind of rashes and stuff him and his wife will potentially develop from sitting on chairs made out of the stuff that they put on pallets is so goddamn toxic and shit. Like, for the love of God, don't ever burn pallets. Just don't. Because the pallets are sprayed with some of the most toxic shit on the planet to keep bugs from eating them. You really never should make any kind of wood or anything, any kind of furniture. Don't make anything out of a fucking pallet. In Europe now, they have laws where that you have to return the pallet to the original shipper because these pallets were building up everywhere, and there's no legal way in Europe to get rid of them. They have to reuse them. But it's really toxic shit. This is the equivalent of Patrick removing asbestos tiles from his roof. Be like, yeah, I'm gonna use these to line my bathrooms, and it's like, why would you do that? Don't do that, you dumbass. If he's actually doing this, he's probably inhaled enough toxic chemicals from his sander to kill a horse. I don't actually believe though that he's doing this because I don't think Nikki allows him to use power tools. I'm fairly certain he's not allowed to. Then you see this. You see this locally cooked chicken tamales with our. What does that mean? Locally cooked chicken. Just say you got takeout, or you went to a food truck. Don't. He's trying to imply that he cooked these locally cooked. What the fuck does that mean? Look, I got a 7-Eleven like 6 blocks from me. If I went there and grabbed a Gatorade, do I say that it's locally sourced? What a douchebag. Locally cooked tamales. Oh, so anyway, the whole reason that I bring up Patrick is I noticed that he still hasn't gotten his pictures back, and I wanted to put out my theory before the DCMA claim, I guess, is up. So I have a theory on 2 things that happened. So either A, the Digital Millennial Copyright Act claim against Patrick is bullshit, and it was done by the trolls. And in 2 weeks' time, he's going to get his pictures back. That is definitely what Patrick believes, and that is what those people that have been feeding Patrick egos believe, like that Jackie Singh character, who I firmly believe is a liar. I think her whole identity is made up, and she's trying to exploit idiots like Patrick to make money off of him. Like, I legitimately do not believe that Patrick is an asshole on Twitter to try to make money. He's an asshole on Twitter because he has some really severe developmental issues that he's never gotten treatment for, along with a very severe addiction to the internet. Whereas this Jackie woman is trying to exploit Patrick to get people to give her money, kind of thing. Like, I don't know if people see the nuance in that, but like I think the way I look at it is like Patrick is a scumbag, but he can't help himself. Whereas Jackie is a scumbag, and she could, she chooses this. Whereas I don't think Patrick necessarily chooses anything, because for whatever reason, like Patrick has severe mental health issues when it comes to utilizing the internet. Now, so Patrick and the people feeding Patrick's ego believe that these are bullshit DCMAs, and that he's going to get his pictures right away. And then you got the people that like are implying that it was the trolls, and the trolls were saying that they bought, or they're implying that someone bought the rights to Patrick's photos. I don't believe that either. I don't believe the photographer in question would do this. I think this is what I honestly believe. I think, like a lot of things, Patrick never read the contract involving getting headshots, because the pictures that Patrick was using are not pictures that people normally use every single day. They're headshots. And these are not just glamour pictures. These are professionally done headshots that people get done for when they're going into movies, or they're professionally done pictures to make you look exceptionally well. So you'll see like authors, the pictures that they use on their jackets of their books are headshots. Actors and actresses that are trying to get into Hollywood, one of the first things you have to do is you have to get headshots made. And so, like, you think about it, like, let's see, Scarlett Johansson, right? I'm going to screw up spelling her name. I just know it. Oops. I'm halfway out of it. Where's the search on this? Don't tell me I have to be logged in to do a search. That's silly. Oh, come on. So anyway, okay, it doesn't matter. Anybody can do this. Google Scarlett Johansson. Scarlett Johansson has headshots. Every actor and actress does. Her icon, her picture that she's using on Twitter is not the headshot. Not her headshot. Similarly, you could look up any kind of author, like J.K. Rowling, Stephen King, and so on. Clive Barker. These are people that have had headshots done of them for their books. They do not use that picture. They do not use that picture for Twitter. And the reason for this is you have to credit the photographer or the photographer's agency every single time you use that picture. If you don't, you will get into trouble. It's kind of like using a picture from the newspaper. If you notice, every single picture in the newspaper is credited. They have to do that. And even if it's the Associated Press, they have to use the quote, or they have to attribute it to the Associated Press. You cannot just use pictures without permission and so on. And part of the very thing you need to do to be able to use these pictures, even if you quote unquote bought them, what you're really buying is the right to pose for these pictures. That's what you're buying. And they give you clothes, and they do the lighting. And like in Patrick's case, they gave him a watch to wear because he's not normally allowed to wear watches because he chokes on shiny things and shit like that. They decked them all up and they took the pictures, but you're paying for the right to have the pictures taken. You don't get the rights to these pictures. This is why he has to credit every single time he uses those pictures. On top of this, if you use those pictures in a way to make money, say for a jacket of a book, or to advertise for, say, autograph signing at a sci-fi convention, or anything like that, anything that you're making money, you're using that picture, you've got to pay a little tiny slice off to the photographer and the photographer's agency. And if you don't do that, you are fucked. You're fucked. And I think what most likely happened is one of the O&A trolls looked into this, and they tried to contact the photographer. And either they got a hold of the photographer or they got a hold of the photographer's agency. And they mentioned about buying the rights to Patrick's photos, and they looked into Patrick again, because they probably mentioned his Twitter. If I was the trolls, I would have mentioned his Twitter. That's probably what they did. Or it might have come up. And the moment that the agency representing the photographer saw that Patrick is using this on Twitter, they themselves DMCA'd it. They represent the photographer. That photographer has the rights to those pictures. They wouldn't even contact Patrick about it. They would not. Patrick will not be contacted until he gets a cease and desist letter. But until then, they're fine with just having the pictures taken down. And then they're probably going to send him a cease and desist letter. Like, don't ever use this picture ever again. Furthermore, our people are going through and we're going to figure out how much you owe us before we'll allow you to use this picture again. Because as far as we're concerned, you're going to owe us for anything that Patrick advertised via his Twitter account using that photo that may have generated money. They're going to want the receipts on it. That's how this works. Again, for anyone out there that thinks I'm making this shit up, look up any actor, actress, music star, anybody that has ever gotten a headshot done. On their social media, do they use that headshot for anything? No, they don't. No, they don't. They might have really good quality pictures. They are not going to be the same thing as a headshot. And what Patrick has been using is very clearly a headshot. So my theory is that this DMCA thing, once the 2 weeks are up, Patrick is either going to, A, keep doing what he's doing here, because he's not going to want to admit defeat, or B, he's going to very quietly change his picture. And he's not going to be allowed to use that goofy headshot anymore. That swarmy little, I'm pointing at my brain because I'm so smart picture. Because until he makes it right with the photographer, and more importantly, the photographer probably will never contact Patrick. That's the whole reason why they have an agency. Like they're not even going to argue. This is going to be done by a company that has to deal with this all the time. And like Patrick's will be very angry and very confused because once again, it is a terms of service, a user agreement, a contract, what have you, that he's not read and he assumes he understands how it works because his mother always told him he was a very smart boy. This is the equivalent of that craziness that he dealt with the cell phone that he decided to go snorkeling with or scuba diving with, and he felt that he could do like underwater videos or something, whatever the shit. He thought his phone was waterproof. It's because he never read the user agreement, and he's functionally stupid. It's got to be scary as shit to be Patrick. Like, the world must be the most terrifying place on the planet, because everything is confusing and nothing goes his way. And again, it's all because I know people are going to think that I'm crazy for saying this, because he is a published writer. You can be functionally illiterate and still be able to read. Like, if you are incapable of... And I've worked with people like this, and I'm not talking about... Like, I've worked with people like this in the military, I've ran into people like this in college, and I've ran into people like this in engineering, like modern engineering world. And these are individuals, they can read a book. They can read a paragraph. They can read a list of instructions. They cannot pull out the pertinent information and understand how to use that pertinent information. And I think Patrick is one of them. I guarantee you, Patrick has read numerous things on these pallets and stuff that say dispose of these correctly. Do not use these pallets for anything except for as pallets. And then once you're done using them, dispose of them correctly. Like, Patrick's insane. Like, Patrick is absolutely insane trying to make furniture out of pallets. This is probably the dumbest thing. Well, I don't know. He's done a lot of stupid things. This is right up there, though, with him building his fence backwards, which I don't believe for a moment he built the fence. I think he paid somebody to do it, and then probably argued with the guy when the guy pointed out that the fence was backwards. I'm trying to think of... The cell phone thing would be dumber. The cell phone thing would be dumber than this. Although the cell phone thing, he's just out of a cell phone. I legitimately think if he's actually doing this, he could get him and his wife really sick. At the very least, he's probably going to give her like a tetanus, tinnitus, or whatever. Like, he's such a goober. He's so dumb. Like again, I bring up like Charlize Theron. Like I guarantee you, she has glamour shots, and she's not on her social media accounts is not using the glamour shots. Wait, what? Imagine walking in Atomic Blonde and then daring Charlize Theron to kick your ass. Okay, I'm sorry. Does Patrick not understand the difference between movies and real life? Why would an actress who is absolutely dependent on her looks, even though she's appeared in Monster and stuff, I mean, I would argue she's an amazing actress, why would she ever want to risk her face, like to get an argument with somebody? It's so stupid. It's utterly insane. I bet you Patrick's mind would explode. Like, his brain wouldn't be able to handle that she could speak Afrikaner. Like, it would just totally confuse him. Oh my god, these are the actual pallets. Those are really long pallets. Maybe they're not the pressure-treated ones. I have a strong suspicion, though, that they are. If they... Wait a minute. Yeah, those are the pressure-treated pallets. Those are all pressure-treated with really heavy-duty chemicals, like industrial chemicals. Like, really, pro tip. I know they're if you look into, like, gardening books and stuff, they all the time they talk about using these pallets. Like, you break down the pallets and make, boxes for flowers and stuff. Don't do it. Really, don't do it. These pallets will just constantly leach out chemicals into the soil and into the air and stuff because they're meant to be used continuously. Like, they're... Oh, my God. Please tell me he's not well, you know, he's probably going to reuse the nails. Nikki's going to get tetanus. I don't get that woman. Like, why does she not stand up for herself? Like, yeah, like, even this, I wouldn't recommend you use pallets for this. If he was using the pallets. Wait a minute. Oh, I was going to say, if Patrick was using this gift for anyone, I was going to laugh my ass off. I digress. It still breaks me, though. Locally cooked chicken tamales. That I've never heard anyone on a like I've never. That is the most hipster douchebag thing that I've ever heard in my life. Locally cooked. This is right up there with his Prezzi's tweet. Locally cooked. Locally cooked. Anyway, I'm gonna let everybody go because I am gonna get off this couch I've been sitting on, and I'm gonna start cooking for my wife and my kid. Y'all take care. Ciao.